We're going to go now to Vinoo Varghese. He's a defense attorney and a former prosecutor, and he's also a visiting faculty member at Harvard Law School's Trial Advocacy Workshop. Thank you for being here. Now that we have seen these charges, what comes next? How do you expect this to unfold?
So what's going to happen is that on the next day, the DA is supposed to turn over to the court for inspection of the grand jury minutes. And this is where it gets interesting, because the judge is going to have to make legal determinations. Once that's turned over, they're going to start turning over discovery. They can do it on a rolling basis. They have 6 months from today to bring this case to trial. So they have to announce ready for trial, which doesn't mean they actually have to start trial, but at some point within the 6 months, in order to avoid a speedy trial violation, they have to announce that they are quote unquote ready for trial. The thing that I think is the biggest issue here, and I'm going through it, and all the dates are in 2017. I'm scrolling through the indictment, and if that's the case, New York State has a 5-year statute of limitations on felonies. I can only imagine that the DA is going to try to make an argument that during COVID lockdowns, Governor Cuomo suspended speedy trial for the better part of a year, and that gave them the extra time they need. Because some of these dates, it looks like the last date is in November of 2017. That means that they should have brought that case before November of 2022. So I can only imagine they're going to try a new legal theory, which is that they are going to say that they had extra time because of COVID lockdowns. I don't think it'll work, and I think they have a real problem here with their statute of limitations.
That's really interesting, because we heard from the former DA, Vance, earlier on our air, noting those COVID restrictions as well. Thank you so much. We're going to come back to you. We're going to take a quick break right now, but we'll have much more on the other side about this history-making arraignment of former president. Fascinating. And that's something that we were talking about with Vinoo Varghese. Of course, he's a defense attorney and former prosecutor, and also a visiting faculty member at Harvard Law School's Trial and Advocacy Workshop. Vinoo, I kind of want to get your thoughts on that, and also kind of what we're expecting next. I mean, we did get a sense of a timeline. The next time that we will see Donald Trump will likely be in December.
So it's going to be an interesting, we're turning to the statute of limitations argument, and I heard what my colleague said over there. I think they're going to have a very difficult time on that particular thing, because there's nothing preventing them from filing an indictment, even during the time of COVID lockdowns, and where Governor Cuomo, I mean, he did a bunch of things. He actually suspended, and what in New York is known as 18080, the right to be charged and be before a grand jury, and defendants were being held in indefinitely. So there were a lot of problems with what Cuomo did. But that particular thing it's hard to say that he was continuously out of state when they know where he is at all times. So they could have filed the indictment, made an arrest warrant, and gone after him at any point in the last 5 years. And particularly there were periods of time that weren't suspended, and then it was resuspended. So I think that this was used to protect time-sensitive cases at that point. But courts here in New York have been open, it seems like, for at least since the summer of 2022, without masks, without these mandates. I'd have to check to see when it was last in there. And I think it's going to be a very difficult argument for them to move forward. Now, here's the thing, though. Trump got the worst judge he could possibly get for himself, and this is a very pro-prosecution judge, so he may have to fight this on appeal.
Very interesting, and a lot more to unfold here as we go forward. Graham Cates, Jessica Levinson, and Vinoo Varghese, thank you so much.